Hello, my name is Dr. Al-Hamad, Assistant Professor at Daphne Cockwell School of Nursing at Toronto Metropolitan University in Canada. My co-author's name, as you can see it on the slide. I'm here to share with you our findings for our systematic review entitled Predictors, Barriers and Facilitators to Refugee Women's Employment and Economic Inclusion. Refugee women usually suffer and struggle to have an employment and integration in their new host country due to several barriers, including language barriers, gender constraint, and being a refugee background. Policymakers are focusing to promote the employment and economic integration of most of refugee women, as it's crucial for labor market outcome and for the health and well-being of refugee women. We have three research questions. What are the rate predictors of refugee employment, economic inclusion in the new host country? That's basically the quantitative. The qualitative is how do refugee women describe their experience of employment, economic inclusions and barriers with the impact on their health and well-being, and what can be inferred from qualitative synthesis to explain predictors, barrier facilitators that affect refugee women employment and well-being in the new host country. We adopted Sandlowski segregated approach from Joanna Bridge mixed method for systematic reviews, and we select segregated approach, and then we combine and compare the finding of a qualitative and quantitative to end up with a unique comprehensive insight into our findings. We adopted BRESMA chart, the preferred reporting item for systematic review and meta-analysis guideline. Several databases, as you can see, were searched, and we have several inclusion criteria, including English language and a publication between 2011 and 2023. We end up having 31 papers that qualified for the final review, where 11 quantitative, 19 qualitative, and 1 mixed method study. When it comes to methodological quality, the qualitative study ranged from 70 to 90%, 63 to 100% for a quantitative study, and 77% for the mixed method studies. Here where you can see the BRESMA chart that illustrates the stages, the process included identification, screening processes and stages until we end up with the total final selected studies. Our quantitative result and meta-analysis, when it's come to pool data, end up with having the employment rate in different host countries was 31.1%. And you can see here also the forest plot, which can clearly identify the percentage and the heterogeneity of our findings. Quantitatively, we end up having the impact of demographic and well-being factor being married, and age and health perception was like common factors, as well as education, which improve the job prospects and might challenge leveraging educational qualifications. Societal and cultural factors were found, including the region of origin, cultural background, and influence of local work experiences also impacted job chances, in addition to the availability of government and non-government resources. From a qualitative finding, we end up having 3 key synthesized findings, including the meaning and significance of employment, barriers to employment, and facilitators and coping for employment. And then we conduct meta-integration, where we have a matrix approach to review the complex connection between the quantitative and qualitative finding in order to and we did side-by-side comparison to identify similarities and differences. Our implication included targeted language training and credential recognition, calling for a comprehensive support program that address women need in terms of childcare, transport, and housing, and combating discrimination and gender-based violence, including implement policies against gender-based violence, and educate on gender equality and cultural sensitivity. To sum up, our review shed new light on the unique challenges of refugee women facing employment barriers, and the review also draw inferences about the program and models, and the result point toward potential best practice guidelines for employment organizations that working with refugee group to promote their identities, privileges, and opportunities in their new host country. This is our references, and thank you very much for your listening. And if you have a question, feel free to write it on the chat. Thank you.